Hello everyone, welcome back to Pixel Village and I am Radha Krishnan. Well, in Pixel Village, we have been discussing about lights of various different sizes and shapes, from big to small, from continuous lights to flashlights, all predominantly used as main light source. But in this video, we're going to introduce to you a special light. In fact, this light is being used as a special purpose light, and we're going to be focusing on that light. And in fact, this light is called the S30 Focus LED. And surprise, surprise, it's from Godox. So before we begin, let me tell you the basic difference between, let's say, a regular light and the S30, which is the focusing LED lamp, which is used for special effects. A regular light source, now we are showing you the SL200, which is another like a big light from Godox, but it's used as a source light. Now, if you look at the LED here, it's a point light source. They call it a chip on board LED light. It acts as a specular light. It has no focusing lens in front of it, except it's got only a protective glass in front of it. You can modify these using your traditional light shaping tools. You can use a reflector with it. Now, since Godox uses, let's say, a Bowens mount, you can use any Bowens compatible light shaping tools. Now, in case if you would like to use this to create those special effects, it's not really easy. It's possible, but not really easy. You need to use a little cumbersome Fresnels and GOBOs, and the whole contraption becomes really heavy and not exactly portable. Except that this will have many times more power than this one. Now, coming to the S30, it's a very light, compact design, very well made, and the most apparent change is that the LED is not visible. Instead, there is a frosted focusing lens in front, okay? And there are heat sinks, and because the LED is kind of in a casing, well, it can generate a lot of heat, so both sides are ventilated well, and there are fans, and the fans are really silent. Now, this light can be operated with the mains and also with a battery. They use the commonly available NPF, the Sony NPF batteries. So get a larger capacity one, and the light can be operated much longer duration. Very easy to operate. You switch on, and the light comes on. And inside, the LED sits on a rail, okay? And when you use this rotary wheel, the LED moves back and forth inside the S30 body to create a wider or a narrower beam, okay? That's one. And using these rotary wheels on the side, you can increase or decrease the power of the focusing LED light. The whole construction and the the whole concept reminds me of the Dido lights that we used to use in the olden days. It's still being used by cinematographers. They are compact, lightweight, special effects lights. The cinematographer used to use them for exactly same kind of purposes which the S30 is made for now. Those were tungsten lights. Now they are also available in bicolor, but the only difference is that it's made in Germany and it costs, I don't know, to sell your kidney to buy one. Now, the light is further shaped using a whole lot of accessories, and you saw them during the product window roll. So this is called a projector head, right? This goes inside, it gets locked in. You can further add a lens in front to further widen or narrow the beam. Also, use GOBOs. Different GOBOs are, pre-cut patterns which can be inserted into holders like this. And the focusing light will throw a corresponding shadow. It'll create a play of light on the scene. That's why GOBOs are used for. You can also increase and decrease the diaphragm by using iris control. So this is how it is done, which means, you can further control the edges. You can make them sharp, you can make the edges soft using this. Well, the accessories are endless. Very well made set of barn doors allow you to control the light again. Very well made. These are really very well made. What else? Well, they also give you a set of color gels for color effects, and also a set of color gels to control the color temperature, which means you can further cool or warm these lights, okay, from the 5600K. And the one which I really liked is the way their scrims are, designed. Now, scrims are basically used to control the intensity of the light. So they introduce this in front. So there is a half scrim, and they also have a full scrim. So using which the specular nature of the light remains the same, but the intensity drops down. But if you introduce, let's say, a soft diffuser in front, the light actually loses its character. Here, it will reduce the power of the light without affecting the character of the specular nature of the light. So this is a very clever and very useful, kind of accessory. Now, these accessories, if you're buying the large kit of 3 lights and the whole jing bang, these accessories come with it. You can buy these lights individually, and you can buy these accessories separately. So the whole permutation combination is available. Towards the end, I'll tell you how much it costs. Okay, let's get actually into the shoot. All right, let's use this S30. In fact, we have an S30 kit with us in the studio. 3 S30s, a whole lot of accessories. Oh, it even comes with a softbox. Okay, a small, very compact, cute softbox, using which let's get into a shoot. What we are planning to do is, one, an interview setup, a compact interview setup. Second, let's say a dramatic portrait setup. And third, a fashion shoot. Okay, we will actually take you through the entire steps of the shoot and show you how exactly this could be used very creatively in your shoots. Let's do the interview setup first. One thing you must definitely remember, that the S30 is not a very powerful light. It can be used effectively indoors. Okay, now we have a setup in the studio. We have all our practical lights. The studio lights are switched on now. And we are also using one, key light to kind of film this. If you are planning to mix it with daylight or bright outdoor light, this will not be really effective. So that is something that you must keep in mind when you work with these lights. Now, I am ready. I am supposed to be interviewed by somebody, and that's the setup that we're going to light with the S30 kit. For an interview, you require a key light and a rim light. I'm not using the third light, so it's with me here. I'm using a Fuji X-T3 with a 56mm lens, nicely wide open position to create that shallow depth of field. So my camera is set in position, this is the camera, but currently the light is what is in the room, the ambient light. What I'm going to do is to switch off the ambient light and start switching on our lights. Okay, the S30 kit. Okay, so I have my key light set here, like almost like a 45 degrees, and I have that cute softbox attached to one. And on that side, you can see the second light, almost like, if you know cricket, that's almost like a third man position. And if you're a left-hander, that's like fine leg, okay? And in that position, you have the second S30 with the projector, and it also has that 85mm lens attached to it, using which it will actually focus that light around the outline of my body. Okay, now what we will do first is switch off one of the ambient lights. So can we switch this off? Right, very good, thank you. And Aditya, can you come in here and switch on this light? Right, nice. Now you can see the difference here. Now it is also taking in ambient light as a fill light, and this is your key light. Okay, if you would like to take a reading, use a flash meter. We have already measured it and set for the Fuji's exposure. It always helps to take a flash meter or a light meter reading. Okay, avoid guessing. Okay, now let's add the second light, which is that rim light. Like I said, it's already set using the projector attachment and the 85mm lens. Wasn't that simple? A key light, a rim light, and of course the shadows filled by the ambient light. A very basic kind of setup, and I'm not using the third light. Now, since everything is ready, let me give a shout out to, let's say, Pixel Viilage itself. Hello everyone, if you are interested in learning photography online, then please log on to www.pixelviilage.com. We have a whole host of mentors there with amazing array of classes ready for you. Please sign up, watch the trailers. If you like a class, you can pay a small fee and watch it for an unlimited period of time. Wasn't that simple? Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Let's do a little bit of fashion this time. Yes, we are getting ready to do the fashion shoot now. You are familiar with Mansi Patwardhan and Prachi Joshi, right? I mean, we saw them in a couple of our earlier videos. So thank you, Mansi. Welcome back to Pixel Viilage. And Prachi, thank you again. Yeah. So guys, please follow them on their Insta handle. Okay, to our setup now. I'm trying to attempt to do a very classic kind of setup, which you've seen in, in the old Vogue, like some of those fashion magazines from probably 20, 30 years back. Let's try and do that here. Okay, so Prachi, you done?
Yes.
All right, sure. Mansi, so I'm going to be using one single S30 battery operated, and let me switch it on first. That's right. You know what I'm attempting to do. Let's switch off the ambient light. There it is. So you need this kind of very low light situation to get this effect. As I have told you, there are a couple of lenses that are available with the projection lamp setup. If you adjust that light back and forth, the edges of the circle will go soft, and you slowly, slightly slide it in such a way that you get a nice sharp edge for the circle. Okay, and it's bright enough to get a nice exposure. And we have very purposely, made her up to look like she's like a 60s actress. Yeah. Step closer to the backdrop, please, Mansi, and angle that way. Nice. Okay, I'm using an X-T3, and and I'm shooting classic chrome so that even this has a classic chrome feel. Look into the camera, please. Nice. Trying to shoot now, and action. Now we're going to attempt another vintage kind of look here. I'm going to use a GOBO. What I'm trying to do is to shoot her through a kind of a dapple light. Okay, so this is my the S30, which is going to create that shadow. I'm going to use this GOBO in it. Oh, let's switch off this light, otherwise you will not see it. And then I'm using this light to create a small little fill. So let me show it to you without that light. So it becomes too contrasty. Okay, so let me just fill it up a little. Now I have the shadows filled nicely. So I'm using two lights. And now I have the 56 on my X-T3. Now I'm going to add the third light. Okay, that's the third light. It's working on battery. The S30 is now bare. The light that would come out will come through the frosted lens, which means the light will have a nice specular feel. Okay, I've kept it in full and I'm shooting black and white. Now, this is the kind of light that those cinematographers or photographers in those days, you know, when I say those days, I'm talking about the 60s and 70s, before the time before they started using diffusers and softeners and stuff in front of the light. This is bare bulb. Probably the only diffusion in front is the frosted lens. Now that lens is creating a very hard rim light. It's got a different character. Let me focus it. Now, can you switch off the working light? Then you will see what that light is doing to you. Right. Okay, there it is. Rest everything is exactly the same. Let me take some shots. This time I'm attempting some black and white. Okay, ready. Let me shoot some video now. Okay, handheld, I'm going to just a sample. Another 3-point light. Okay, now this time I have removed the GOBO from her face. It's only in the backdrop. Maybe we should switch off that light to see it. Okay, so the GOBO is creating that shadow, blurry backdrop only on the wall, not on her face. I'm using the small SOFTBOX to create a nice light, and of course the open light is creating that interesting rim light. Now this is classic lighting, okay, which you can do with this. Even if you have a little bit of ambient light, you can still do this shot. Okay, so, and I'm shooting X-T3 again, 56mm, and full open, and I'm using VELVIA simulation. Okay, I would like to fill the shadow a bit. Aditya, can you come with a small polyboard? Can you fill the shadow a little? Right. Okay. Move it a little closer. Little closer. That's it. Okay. Without cutting the shadow on the backdrop. Ready. And that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Bring the second hand in. Yeah. Wow. Perfect for wedding photography. Perfect. Hey, thank you very much, Mansi. Thank you. Hey, thanks. Thank you very much. Let's now try and do some dramatic portraits using this framing shutters, which is supplied along with the kit. There are 4 of them. I am going to be using 2 of them. Okay, now for which, well, we have our in-house model. Aditya is ready, ever ready. And we're going to do some, portraits with him. One S30 with the projector, and I'm going to insert this framing, shutters into the place where the GOBO goes in. There's no GOBO this time. And frame, a dramatic, control the light basically. Okay, now can we bring this light down? Okay, can you see that fine control of that light? And I'm shooting black and white. Keep your nose straight. Okay, like that. And turn your face slightly to your left. That's right. To do this using, one of those big lights, which doesn't have all these, fine controls, is a very long process. Getting it to this precision actually will take a lot of time. So with this S30, you can do it with that fine control. Now, if you want to cut the light from the other side, you can introduce the SCRIM. So the SCRIM will further reduce the light very, very in a controlled fashion from, let's say, from the backdrop in case if you need to. So that's the S30 for you. I hope that video demonstration was useful and you could understand the S30 very well. Besides understanding the product, I hope that you learned a couple of lighting techniques too. Now, S30 is definitely not a light for everyone, but in case if you need to create those kind of special effects, definitely this is the best solution currently available at that price. Now again, with talking about price, this is not exactly cheap, but compared to what is available which can do similar effects, well, this is really affordable too. But in case if you are planning to buy this in this country, well, make sure that you buy it with a bill and a warranty. We were unable to, due to lack of time, we were unable to demonstrate the entire range of accessories like the BARNDOORs, the SCRIMs, the color gels, the color correction gels, etc. Hopefully we will do it another day, but it's relatively simple. You need to just apply your mind. It's common sense. You can do that too. But if you decide to get one, I'm certain that you will make your friends go green with envy with the images that you are going to create with this S30. Bye for now.